कि ठंड का हम लोग जो देखते हैं कि ठंड का सीजन में ठंडा का प्रकोप बढ़ जाता है ना, बहुत सारे लोगों को बीमारी हो जाता है। लेकिन बहुत सारे लोगों को बीमारी होता है और बहुत सारे लोगों का मज़ा भी आता है, बोलता है कि ठंडा तो हमको बहुत अच्छा लगता है।
हाँ
है ना।
हाँ
तो ठंड एज पर से इज नॉट ए,
वैसे हो जाते हैं
हाँ,
तब
मैंने कोल्ड एज पर से इज नॉट ए बैड कंडीशन, है ना, और यू कैन से नॉट ए फैक्टर फॉर टेकिंग कोल्ड, और that is corroborated by organon also. In organon, aphorism number 31. What aphorism number 31 says? It says for any diseases, three things are essential. First is causative factor, agent, that is morbific agent. So here suppose in cold or in winter, cold, we take cold as a agent. How is it agent? Because the air density increases and the number of microorganisms present there becomes more in volume. So the affection that it creates on the human organism is much greater than that it can create in summer. So here cold act as an agent. And second thing, that is susceptibility. Susceptibility is the quality of human being to receive any disease. And third thing is disposition. Disposition is a soil upon which the disease can germinate. So three things, when three things matches, disease happens. And that's why in cold only those people suffers who have tendency to take cold. In alone, if you go by alone, many remedies you will find the language takes cold easily, readily cold takes cold, readily catches cold from air. So it shows that there is certain disposition in that person, disposed to diarrhea, disposed to take cold. This sort of language you will find in Allen materia medica or in many other materia medica. I just confine myself here to Allen. So I thought that person who have a strong susceptibility to catch cold, can it be cured by homeopathic medicine? This is the first idea that got me, whether it is curable or not. Once a person has a tendency to catch cold, can it be cured? In many of the materia medica, in many of the remedies, we see that it is written, it reduces the tendency. Like in Quince, you will find in Hip herself or Sorinum, Allen writes, it reduces the tendency to catch cold. It reduces the tendency for quinsy. So it means by our medicine we can reduce the disposition. We cannot completely cure it, but that comes under the category of cure once the disposition is reduced to the indisposition. If we get the person by our medicine from the state of disposition to the state of indisposition, it means we are able to cure that person. Indisposition is very transient thing. Person once goes into cold, in cold air he will catch cold, but that cold will not affect him to the state of disease. That is indisposition. So here we cannot completely eradicate disposition, but still we can bring him from the state of disposition to indisposition. And similarly, in the case of susceptibility, our medicine is so effective that it can modify the susceptibility. We cannot eradicate susceptibility, but we can modify. So I feel that whenever you find a patient, particularly of chronic nature, who are suffering from cold, having a tendency to catch cold, suffer from various sort of diseases. Because when you are affected by cold, you go into various type of diseases. That depends upon your disposition, upon your constitution. So we have to, while taking a case, we have to mark out these things. What the person suffers from, how the person is getting affected through cold. Some person goes for diarrhea, some person is running noses, some person catches cold in throat, some person catches cold in lungs and starts expectorating. Some persons have colic, some persons get venous disposition. So there are various manifestations we see when the person is exposed to cold. And here we have to find out what medicine is most suitable for that person. And that depends upon the causative factor, the locality the person is suffering from, the sensation that the person goes into, and the manifestation that the person shows under that condition. Because Hahnemann writes perhaps in aphorism number 1011 as that every disease has a phenomena, every disease has certain picture, it has certain journey, it starts from one and shows its manifestation, and no other disease, no other remedy can show that disposition, show that can show that picture, show that state. As there are, as you draw a line between 2 points, there can be only one straight line. There can be no two straight line between 2 points. Similarly, no remedy has its duplicate, नहीं, और क्या कह सकते हैं उसको, its replacement, no remedy. Every remedy is unique. Similarly, every manifestation of a person is very unique. When a person goes into cold, it is exposed to the cold, the manifestation it's going to is different in different person, and that lies the individuality of the person. Now I am coming to some cases, and from there I will show how from the cold the person gets into different manifestation. करीब 6 महीना पहले जो है एक लेडी करीब 18 साल 19 साल की लड़की है, शी इज ए स्टूडेंट, शी केम विथ सीवियर पेन. प्रणाम. आइए सर, आइए. So I am just starting with some cases. Almost 6 months back, a 16-year or 18-year girls came with severe pain in both extremities, and the pain used to be so severe that she has to take allopathic injection each and every time, and almost after every 2 or 3 days she was suffering. She had to go for the injection because the pain could not be controlled by any other means. And it all had happened from 1 or 2 months ago when she was exposed to the cold. With that, she had severe palpitation, and with that palpitation, she feels as if suffocated. The spasm was so rigorous, so severe, for the time being she felt that as if the breathing has stopped. And it lasted for the transient period, lasting 4 seconds or 5 seconds. Thereafter the breathing becomes normal. But the periodical spasm was very, very troublesome for that girl. The girl was lean, dark complexion, and she had been suffering from recurrent tonsillitis since childhood. In the family history, nothing particular was found. And in the morning, there was weakness. She had running noses. Frequently, she had to go for paroxysmal sneezing, and it was aggravated from dust in the morning, from exposure to the cold. So the all problem had happened in the childhood when she had when she was exposed to the cold and she suffered from sinusitis, and from there a journey had started, and that soric tendency continued to amplify its magnitude year after year, and this time when the girl was exposed to cold, she got added on feature, that was extreme pain in the extremities. And during the whole long 6 to 7 years, ever since she first got exposed to the cold, allopathic medicine, suppression, and she was going under. And this time, as the pain was beyond its control, even the injection was failed, not getting success, she resorted for homeopathic treatment. So two things what I observed here. One thing, the lady has been suffering from sinusitis from the childhood. The lady was weak, she was under soric temperament, and she had periodical paroxysmal sneezing and pain in the extremities. There was hysterical manifestation of breathing. And just go by the natramure, what Allen writes: takes cold easily, running noses, sinusitis recurrent. This is the language of Allen. What I found here, she had been suffering from sinusitis since childhood. The affection of cold was on nose, and their aggravation in the morning, that is the modality of natramure. The lady was already had desire for the salt, so natramure came out prominently. The periodicity that she was telling after every 3-4 days is very marked in natramure. Only 4 or 5 remedies are there which have such periodicity. So the case, in this case, I prescribed natramure, and the case got cured. No, not 200. Not 200. 200. One dose, almost one dose. And I said her to repeat whenever you go for the another spasm. But for God's luck, she never went in second spasm after only one dose of natramure 200. No, she came with another patient, and she came in the follow-up when she said that there is no problem, only there is weakness. This time she had no pain, and this time there was weakness and there was running nose, because the pain that with which she came was over, but the sinusitis is still present. The sinusitis is still present, so the disease has gone back. Now still I have kept her on natramure. So what I found in this, how the sora travel from sinusitis to the body pain and to the hysterical manifestation of breathing, and how the exposure of cold affect to what locality. The cold affect didn't throat, the cold affect didn't gland, the cold affect nose. That was the strong, where the person had a strong susceptibility to catch cold. So this way, I matched everything. I matched the susceptibility, I matched the disposition, I matched the causation, I matched the modality, and the case was scientifically for the natramure. And when natramure prescribed, natramure worked beautifully. This is one case. There are several cases, but the approach is the same. So I will not go for several cases. I think if we are able to find out and differentiate in the patient how he is acting under a disease, how the cold is affecting him, in which way the manifestation is coming out, and what differentiation it has with the another, I think we can go for the right minimum. This way we can figure. Thank you.